Gee. I mean, I'm getting sick and tired of being the one getting up and down all the time.
Yeah, it's the curse of that chair.
I'm sitting there next time. Well, this is the next day, obviously, a different shirt and stuff. You're wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, because we just finished the podcast. We're doing this. We're doing 2 in a row.
I just told you specifically not to say that, as it's like we're meant to pretend they're different days. So it's like
I took my hat off.
yeah, thanks for that. No one will notice that. No, that subtle difference. No one's gonna know. That's when we edit that out. Obviously, we're gonna have to edit that first half out. But
we'll just. It's next day.
Thank you.
We didn't do this on the same day.
This podcast brought to you by Monster Energy Drink.
Monster, our sponsor.
Oh, that rhymed. That was good.
Monster, our sponsor. Monster, our sponsor.
Cheers.
Yeah. I did that a bit loud.
Yeah, drink quietly, man.
Yeah. Well, welcome to another episode of Hypothetically Speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Richie, and this is
Jay Wong.
It's good to be
Should
here.
I have like a gang sign, like Jay Wong? Oh no, not double W. I'd be like Jay Wong.
What's
Dude,
that?
that's pretty cool. Look at that.
What's that one?
It's a J, isn't it?
Jay Wong. Oh yeah.
Look, I got a gang sign.
That's
And when
pretty
you
good.
see me out in the streets, you know, because I'm a tough guy, just go Jay Wong.
Jay Wong in the house. Yeah, I like it. What about RT?
Go on then.
RT.
You're just pointing. There's no R's or T there.
You don't use your imagination.
No, it's
RT.
the gang sign. You can't use imagination.
No, I got this. T. Like the T.
Oh,
T.
T. That's good.
Let's go Richie T.
It's like, use your imagination. I just signed a bear. Like, what?
Watch out.
RT.
Grew up on the hard streets in the
Or Jay
Lullaby.
Wong. I did a little. Oh, live long and prosper.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Wait,
No, dude, come on.
Star Trek.
Yeah, either that or it's boop. I don't know. It's like two
scissor.
Vulcan. No, what are you talking about?
Scissor
It's a
hand.
Vulcan handshake.
Oh, it's scissor hands.
No, it's a Vulcan handshake. Oh, Phil. We every time we start one of these, and they're totally unrehearsed, unedited, except we just chop some stuff out, so it is edited. But every time we start one, we go, okay, make sure you don't be dirty.
Yeah.
Straight away, this guy with the I was doing the Vulcan handshake, and he's talking about scissors, scissoring.
Took me down there, didn't you?
Didn't.
Led me there.
No.
Led me to
I can only lead the horse to water. I can't force it to drink, Richard.
the filthy water.
The filthy water.
I'm in the desert, I'm thirsty. You go, here's some water. I go, thanks, I'm really thirsty.
Yeah.
And it's just filth water.
Yeah.
And then you go, why'd you drink that? I go, because I was thirsty. And then you go, well, you shouldn't have drunk.
Yeah. You knew what I was when you first picked me up.
Yeah.
Filthy water. Well, it's a new day,
Yeah.
as you can tell by my different coloured shirt.
Yeah. And,
Weren't you wearing a hat last time?
yeah, I don't have a hat anymore.
No, sorry. We have to edit that part out. Weren't you wearing a hat last time?
Yeah, I was, but I'm not today.
Yeah. That's exactly what... We'll edit that last part out.
Yeah. Yeah, so last episode we learnt about lots of things about pygmies.
Yeah. It was like a science podcast, wasn't it?
Yep. We learned about gold, rubies. What was the other one we learnt? What's that stuff in bread? Gluten?
Yeast
Infections.
Do you have one of those?
I don't think so. What if you get a yeast infection? I don't think I've ever had a yeast infection.
I hope not.
Sounds pretty gross.
See, I'm on the I've never had one, obviously, because I'm a wholesome individual. But I'm on the balancing line because I I sort of know what it is. So, but if I go, yeah, I know what it is, then people are like, oh, that guy's had a yeast infection.
Yeah.
But if I say, oh, no, I don't know what it is either, then people are like, that guy hasn't had one.
It's smart.
Yeah, but the cat's out of the bag. I know what one is.
You know, yeah. You're
not
like the kid.
Not because I had one.
Yeah. Like the teacher said in class, anyone know about a yeast infection? You put your hand up and say, I know everything about yeast infections. Everybody's going to think, yeast.
Yeah,
yeast boy.
Yeasty there.
And that's it, you're done for school.
He's from the Middle East.
Yeah, Middle East. The Middle East infection land, yeah.
Because I'm half Asian, one might say I'm half Eastern.
I don't think it works.
No, yeah. The Eastern
Oh.
are Asians, right?
Eastern.
No, don't worry about it. Anyway, I think you just get all crusty downstairs. That's what... I've never had one. If maybe write in the comments what it is if you've seen one. No links.
It'd be hard to explain to your partner, like, if you try to convince him it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, where'd you get that from? And you'd be like, oh, my crumbed sausage. And like, yeah, what is that? It's disgusting. Is that a yeast infection? How'd you get that? And you'd be like, oh, just ate too much bread.
Too much gluten. That's what happens when you have too much gluten.
Yeah, that's why this podcast is completely gluten-free.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense why there's so many people who don't like gluten.
That's right. And this podcast is brought to you by gluten-free Monster Energy drink.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's gluten-free, but it's good for you.
Definitely no gluten.
Just forgot to read that.
Yeah. So, yeah, hypothetically speaking, got one for you, Jay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to be good, right?
Yeah.
Because the last one, we found out in the previous one that you'll be willing to beat off 50 kids to take a ruby the size of your head.
I pretty sure I said I wouldn't beat off a bunch of kids.
We'll have to look back. Look back at the last one.
And you know, we know that last time I had put forth an opportunity for Jay, he went with the dry humping of Koshi.
I was a hard pass. And
now we find ourselves at another adventure.
The crossroads of life.
We hope you're learning a lot from these podcasts. They're meant to be educational. I think we're trying to get them into primary schools.
Yeah, I'm a teacher. So, like, I'm going to run this by the principal.
A few nibbles with no hard bites yet.
Not yet.
On the content.
And the sponsorships. Like, come on, Kmart, where are you?
Hang in there. I think we're good. We're going to get it.
Yeah, we'll get there. We're pretty much a guaranteed thing. Like
we're a sure thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, hypothetically speaking, let's just say that you've got a shed.
Yeah.
In your backyard, right?
I got a shed.
You got a shed back there.
I got a shed.
But it's one that you don't go in there ever, right? This particular shed, because your wife, let's just say she loves the garden. She's a gardener and she loves roses.
It's her space.
Her space, right? You know, you like maybe go away, so I'm going to go play some computer games, honey. And she goes, that's all right. I was going to go tend to the gardens.
In her shed.
And around the shed.
All her equipment's
in the shed.
One is like just like, I need to, get a shovel. Can I go on the shed?
She always says, honey, don't worry about it, I'll get it for you. And she always gets up. Whenever you go, I'm going to go in the shed. Yeah.
That sounds like my wife. She'll get it for you.
Oh, yeah. What would happen if you told her that you're upset that she didn't... No, let's just move on.
I love you, honey.
So, and it's a bit weird because it's unusual, every time you try to go to the shed, she jumps up and says, "Oh, I'll go." You know what I mean? And so
what's happening here?
She attends to her gardens, and you're like, "Oh, I'm not really into gardens," but she seems to like it. Anyway, years go by, and you don't think much of it. One day she's out of the house, and you got to get something. You got to get some gloves from the shed, some gardening gloves.
Yeah, because I'm an avid gardener.
Yeah, well, you needed to pick up the bins or something, I don't know, I can't remember. And you go in there and trying to get some gloves, but you notice it's locked. So you think,
that's a bit odd.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Why is the garden shed locked? But you manage to pry the lock open because it's not well locked in. You're able to shake it a bit, it pops open and you're in there.
Get my gloves.
Get your gloves. So you start looking around.
Yep.
And as you're looking around, there's a big mat on the floor, and you bump the mat, and then underneath the mat, there's a hatch. And you think, well, that's odd. There's a hatch at the bottom of the shed.
Yeah.
So, curiosity helps the cat.
No, that's not how the saying goes.
And so
it actually kills the cat.
And because you're a curious person.
No, I'm not.
You think, I'm going to open the latch.
No, I'm a Vulcan, live long and prosper.
And
I'm not going to be hatching it up today.
You're so excited to go down there and see what's inside.
Not excited at all.
You open the hatch and you climb down some stairs, and there's another room. And in the room, it's just a bunch of jars with human penises in them.
What happened to keeping it clean?
And the whole room's filled with jars.
Okay.
With genitalia.
Genitalia?
And you're a bit surprised.
Oh, just a bit. Just a wee bit.
You go down there and you think, why is all these penises in this room? You know what I mean?
I'm sure there's other questions I'd ask before that, but...
And you're looking around, and there's not just a few, there's a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot of male genitalia just in...
male? No women?
No women, just male genitalia. And it's in some kind of a fluid that keeps it from, spoiling.
Formaldehyde or something.
Yeah, and it's all...
Firstly, I'd be like... no women genitalia. That's a little bit sexist. It's 2022, Dan.
Disappointing too, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could have at least thought of you and your needs. But anyway, you're looking around, and you see them all, and you think, Well,
I'm looking around all these pickled penises. Are you sure they're not cucumbers?
You open one of the... Interesting you say that.
I would not open one. I open one. Oh.
You get one of the jars and you hold it, and then you think, you have a close inspection of it, and you're very certain that it is penises after close inspection.
I don't want to get too close.
And there's all kinds, there's small ones and big ones, different colours of all the rainbow, so anyway, you leave the hatch.
Oh, just leave it?
You leave it, well... I guess you get a bit weirded out and you go out, right? And you think, and then your wife comes home. Do you keep it a secret that you don't know, or do you talk to her about it?
I could just picture myself going, looking a bit nervous, and she'd be like, "Did you touch my hatch?" No.
You go, "Hi, honey, good to see you. I didn't touch the hatch. See you later."
Look, straight away I'd call the cops.
You gotta just straight call the cops.
Yeah, man.
You don't talk to your wife at all.
How many jars are down there?
There's a good 100 plus.
So there's either 100 bodies somewhere, or 100 people who were happy to sell their penises to be pickled in jars.
It could be, yeah.
It's like 100. It could be 100 people. She could be a surgeon that performs. Like, was it, how Ellen Page turned into Elliot Page?
Yeah.
That surgeon. She could be, what's that called? Scientifically, they're called the saucy surgeon.
I don't know, they make transvestites, don't they?
Yeah.
Is that the word? I don't know.
I don't know, we're hip and cool, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should edit that part out, eh?
Yeah.
But maybe she's a surgeon that does that, and it's it's pure, everything's above board.
Well, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, so, even if that was the case, I would call the cops immediately. It's a lot of them.
You come out of the shed, and as soon as you walk in the house, your wife walks in the door. She goes, "Hi, honey," real happy, like she's been.
I'll get my gun and they're like, "Get on the ground! Get on the ground!"
But you go for the kill. You're straight in there, I'm gonna.
Well, first arrest her, and then.
Well, hey, who's arresting her? There's no one there.
I'll get the cops.
But they're not. You come out the shed. You come in the house. She's in there. You're in with your wife. It's like you got this moment. You got to just leave the house and then call the cops and then come back in.
Does she have a gun?
She's just herself, like you see her every day.
Does she know I was in the shed?
She has no idea at this point.
I'm not wearing the gloves or anything like that. Like,
you're pretty sweaty. You're sweating.
Like oh crap, they're garden gloves. Okay, so I'm there. I'll just be like, no, I wouldn't talk to her about it. I'll just pretend nothing happened.
Your wife would be so angry. You just go...
I'm the one who's angry. All the pickled dicks down there.
All these years you've spent together, you know, all these moments, and just a few dicks, and you're gonna just like cut her off like that.
Just a few dicks. There's 100 dicks in there. Firstly, 100 dicks. Secondly, she's been keeping this hidden dick treasure trove from me. Firstly, we have another room in the house. I would have been, you know, it would have been good to have an extra room. So yeah. She's hiding that from me.
That's the
then she's got a treasure trove of dicks down there that she hasn't told me about.
Yeah.
That's a little... What about my betrayal of trust?
Yeah, I see.
And I see... One time I see 100 dicks in a jar and I don't say anything and I'm the one who's getting in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe... That's what I mean. Like, maybe... there could be a good explanation for all of this.
No, there's no good explanation. I thought of the only one and it was still a bad explanation.
Maybe...
Because she's not meant to keep them after she chops them off as a surgeon. She can't just, like, have a trophy room of, like... That's not hers to keep. I think, pretty sure they put it in a bag and then they get rid of them or donate them to dickless people who need them. I don't know. I don't know the procedure. I'm just saying that I would definitely call the cops immediately.
Well, I mean, she could be like Dexter. She could be going after people who are not very good for society and chopping off their willies.
And she likes killing people.
And then she keeps them as trophies. Maybe she's like a serial killer.
Oh, that makes it a lot better.
Who doesn't want to kill people, so she just targets bad people.
So she's like a vigilante. Like
she could be.
She's like Batman. But
she's like Batman, but she keeps trophies of people's willies.
So she's Batman that has a fetish for pickled dicks.
There could be a Marvel movie made about her.
This podcast is brought to you by DC Universe.
This is a good pitch. We've got an idea for you. Forget Batman.
What would you call him?
Cut the Fat Man.
Cut the Fat Man? Or... What's the... I don't know. I can't think of anything clean. I'm trying to keep it clean. Yet, this podcast, he talks about 100 pickled dicks.
It could happen to anyone.
No, it couldn't. They couldn't. Hypothetically speaking, I call the cops straight away.
Okay, so you call the cops straight away. The cops turn up, and they come and they say,
I'm going to bring them down there and be like, look at all the dicks. Look, there's a small one and a big, that's a big black one here. And like, oh dude, this one's still bigger than mine. And shake it up, it's like a snow cone. All the glitter falls down. There's a snow cone one. Snow globe one.
Well, you call cops and your wife goes into a rage and she says, how dare you, you know, after all we've been through, you turn me in like this. She goes, when I get out, I'm coming for your penis.
Oh no.
And then that's it.
She'll never get out though.
She gets in the thing, and I don't know, the legal system's fickle, you know.
You cut off 100 dicks. There's no fickle part about that.
She could just be like, well, some of them were there when I got here, you know, like.
Some of them there when I got there?
That could happen.
No, it couldn't. It definitely couldn't. I do remember though, when we bought this house, we went up into the roof to get something, and there was all these like
dicks?
Old man. No.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, look at all these pickled dicks. Oh, it could happen. You know, it's not uncommon. And I went out there and we found all these nudie magazines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, up here. In the crawl space. And like,
he's crawling up on the roof doing that.
We bought it off an old man whose parents, and he was old, like, I don't know, like, going to the 70s, and 70 years of age, And then his parents just passed away. They lived forever. He would have been going, like, finally.
I can stop having to crawl under the roof.
Yeah, my inheritance. And then he has this, like, treasure trove up in the roof. And we brought it down. They're all, like, old school nudie magazines.
You could sell that. It might be collector's items.
Damn, I didn't think of that, did I?
So he's been crawling up to his roof while he lived with his parents. His parents are trying to watch TV. He goes, "What's up with those raccoons?" He's like, "Oh,
Marge, the possums are playing up again. They keep whacking around the place up there.
They've been up there all day. It's been 6 hours. They seem too happy. Get the pest guy out again."
They're letting water through the roof.
It's leaking. Is it raining?
So technically, he did have a treasure trove of dicks up there.
His.
Yeah.
And other people's on pages.
Yeah. So yeah, not uncommon.
Realistic. This is a realistic potential.
These hypothetical situations are really, they're riddled with realism.
Well, that's pretty much our podcast.
This podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy Drink.
Monster. Yeah.
Quite.
This fire's getting hot.
Yeah. Should I just get up and turn off again?
Yeah.
You want to get up this time?
I think we stick to tradition.
It's not a tradition. Oh, my back.
Yeah, it looks painful.
Yesterday, a few days ago when I stubbed my toe, remember that?
Yeah.
Still hurts now.
Let's put my hat on.
No, don't.